said no to drinking, if you didn't fight back, if you showed any hint of vulnerability, if you veered even 1 degree outside the acceptable cultural lane, you were fair game. And they called you weak, and they called you soft, and they called you gay, even when you weren't, especially when you weren't. If you don't drink alcohol, then you must be gay. That's what they said. Not because they cared about your sexuality, but because they needed a weapon. And that is what the liquid light does. It doesn't care who you are. It just wants you scared enough to drink. And it will use every slur in the book to make that happen. Hello everybody, my name is Davy. I am not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I am someone who lives a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, and I spend every waking moment of that life helping other people do the same. This episode I'm basically creating it to cover Pride Month actually, and let's be honest, right? This is much more about being gay, okay? It's about what happens when you are different. It's about what happens when your truth threatens the tribe, whatever tribe you were in. I grew up in South Wales and I had a tribe there. Before that, Manchester, where I was born, I had a tribe there. And in both places, the goal for me was the same. Become a man as fast as possible or get eaten alive. So how do you do that? How do you become a man? Well, you drink, you fight, you fuck. You score points, you earn status, and you avoid humiliation at all costs. Because if you didn't play the game, if you said no to drinking, if you didn't fight back, if you showed any hint of vulnerability, if you veered even 1 degree outside the acceptable cultural lane, you were fair game. And they called you weak, and they called you soft, and they called you gay, even when you weren't, especially when you weren't. Because that is what stung. And here's the horror of it. Those words don't land on the adult part of you. Let that land. They don't land on the adult part of you. They land on the childlike parts of you. The little boy who just wanted to be safe. The little girl who just wanted to be loved. The part of you that remembers deep inside your body that social death feels like a real death. So what do? You drink. You conform, you wear the mask, you put the armor on, you shut your mouth, you bury your truth. And that, striver, is how the liquid lie wins. It's how it survives, by weaponizing difference. Now we're going to take a short break, but before the break, I want you to ask yourself this. What names were you terrified of being called as a child? What part of you still hears that voice and believes it? Welcome back to the 1000 Days Sober podcast. And today we are talking about being different. It is Pride Month. So what excellent moment to talk about this, right? This is the real epidemic. It's not alcohol, but the shame that makes us drink. The names that still live in our nervous systems. The fear of being rejected for who we really are. And the liquid lie, it feeds on this. It thrives in environments where vulnerability is punished, where difference is mocked, where safety is conditional. So if you're gay or trans or bi or queer, of course you might turn to alcohol. But it's not because you're broken. It's because you were brilliant. Because you're doing whatever you can to survive in a world that tells you not to even exist. And if you're not gay, but you've ever hidden parts of yourself just to fit in, to be approved of, to avoid name calling, you have felt this too. The liquid lie doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care who you are. It just wants you to stay in your box. And the second you step out of it, it will come after you with everything that it's got. Shame, isolation, a pint of silence. But I'm here today to say you can say no. You can say I am done hiding. You can say, I'm done earning love through conformity. And you can say, I'm done drinking just to be accepted by people who never saw the real me in the first place. Because here at Strive, we do see you. gay, straight, bi, trans, questioning, religious, atheist, masculine, feminine, fluid. Whatever the world calls you, we call you human. And every single one of you is welcome right here. Today's daily vow. Today I will not drink because I refuse to betray myself just to fit in. The names they called me were never mine to carry. And the parts of me that still flinch, they don't need the drink, they need a little love. As you go about your day to day, here's some reflections for you. What names did people used to call you to keep you small? And what masks are you still wearing to feel safe? And who would you be if you took it off and threw it in the trash can? Find me on social media at LeeDavyCoaching, or email me at stridemethod@gmail.com if you want to get into this conversation. Okay? All right, that's all I have time for you today. If this episode resonated with you, share it, rate, review the show, and let's create a world where difference isn't punished with a pint, okay? Let's look around at our fellow brothers and sisters with some love and some compassion and some inspiration that people step out of the lane and they try to be different, whether that's dress different, whether that's have a different sexual bias, whether that's just choosing to be alcohol free as fuck. Let's celebrate difference, right? What a boring fucking world it would be if we was all the same, okay? All right. Have a self-led life today. And remember, in those moments when you are feeling a little bit different and you want to drink alcohol, celebrate that difference. Give yourself some love, not a pint glass. Until tomorrow, much love, everybody.